Hello, welcome to my review of the Sovol 3D printer dual filament dryer that I bought from AliExpress for the equivalent of £38, which is about 53 US dollars. This is also available from Amazon.co.uk for around 70 English pounds as well. So here I'm just opening up the box for the first time. Let's see what we've got inside. So first up we've got the user manual. Next up we have the power adapter. This has got a US plug on one end, so you may want to make sure it's plugged into a fused adapter when you plug it in. As you can see, it's a 110 to 240 volt adapter, so it should work on European and US power networks. As you can see, inside the box we have the filament dryer itself. So let's unwrap the filament dryer and take a look. So as you can see, we've got the Perspex lid all the way around. We've got the power input socket on the back there. Got some clips on the front that release the hinge lid. And as you can see inside, there's room for 2 filament reels. We've got a little fan at the back to circulate the heat, and we've got the filament rollers just above the heating element plate, which you can see in yellow. What's worth noting is that around the edge of the box there's a rubber seal that runs all the way around, so very good for keeping the filament sealed and dry and free from moisture when you're not using it. And then lastly, on the top we have 2 filament holes, so you can thread the filament through straight to your printer. And then obviously on the front we have the control panel, and as you can see here, the specs on the bottom. As we know, this is a dual filament holder. So now I'm going to test some old filament reels to see how they fit. As you can see, this first reel that I'm putting in is 70mm wide, and it fits right to the edge on the first set of rollers, no problems, and rotates. The next reel I'm going to put in is around 50mm. And as you can see, that sits alongside and rotates independently of the other reel next to it. Next up I have this 80mm roll. And this one won't fit in one side, as one side of the spool overlaps the dividing channel in the middle, so the reel has to sit on two sets of rollers. As you can see, it rotates fine on these two sets of rollers, but you wouldn't be able to fit another reel alongside it for it to work independently. As you can see, one reel starts rotating the other when it's done like this, so this wouldn't work. The problem I've found with putting the 80mm roll in on its own is if you've got a new reel of filament, sometimes the filament will catch on this center channel, especially when the reel is brand new and the filament is at its fullest. As you can see, this is a fairly new reel of filament and it's wobbling on the dividing channel, and you don't really want that because it will catch and could potentially stop your print. So you'd probably have to wait for this to run down a bit before you could use it in the filament dryer. So next up, I've found two old reels of filament that have been sitting outside of their plastic bags for over a year. Combined they weigh 1,453 grams, and I'm going to put them in the filament dryer to see how much moisture we can evaporate from them. So the filaments that are going in is one's a filament of ABS and the other one is a PETG filament, and I'm going to put them in for 12 hours. Don't forget to subscribe and see how much they dry. So just closing the ports on the top. So to turn on the Sovol, we press this button, and then we press our menu button to bring up the temperature. We press the lower button to set it to 50 degrees, press menu again, and now we're using the same button to set our countdown timer. As you can see, it goes all the way up to 12 and begins at 6. So we're going to set it for 12 hours, press menu again, and now the dryer is working, and as you can see, the display switches between the time and the temperature on the left and the humidity on the right. So 11 hours 59 minutes to go, and the temperature is 23 degrees with a humidity of 57%. Okay, so here we are approximately 30 minutes later. As you can see, there's 11 hours and 28 minutes to go, and the temperature has reached 45 degrees with 28% humidity. Okay, so here we are again, and you can see the dryer has reached 50 degrees centigrade, and the humidity is 32%, and we've got 9 hours and 46 minutes to go. Okay, so now we have 5 hours and 51 minutes to go, and you'll see the temperature is still at 50 degrees and the humidity is at 11%. You'll also notice that I've opened the cover. This is because in the Sovol manual it recommends to open the cover door to let the humidity out. So I'm just going to do a quick weigh-in test at the halfway point to see if we've lost any moisture from the reels so far. So as you can see, it's at 1454, which is 1 gram more than it started at. So now I've been running the dryer for another 2 hours with the cover open, and as you can see, the temperature is still at 50 degrees, but the moisture content has dropped to 9%. So that's quite a significant difference from having the cover closed. It's just past midnight here, so I'm going to do one final weigh-in before I end this test. I'm not going to take it to the full 12 hours because I don't really want this device being powered on while I'm asleep. So let's see how much difference, if any, it's made. Let's get it in a bit of a better light so you can see the display. So as you can see, it's 1,447 grams. So we've actually lost 6 grams of moisture from the reels, and most of that occurred in the time that the cover was left open. So that's quite impressive. Overall, I'm quite impressed with the Sovol filament dryer. I like the fact that it's easy to use and there's a rubber seal around the lid, so the filament should stay nice and moisture free whilst in storage. The only slight letdown was the not being able to fit a fully loaded 80mm spool in the holder because of that centre dividing channel. This is maybe something they could improve upon, but overall I'm quite happy with the purchase. It's pretty good value for money considering some of the single spool holders are the same price or more expensive than this dual one. So I'm probably going to buy another one. Hope you enjoyed the review, and please check out some more of my other videos, and of course don't forget to subscribe.